He has to go into seclusion, into sick bay, goes into sick bay, and he gets special herbal treatment, medicines, and nobody can see Lord Jagannath for 14 days, Anavasara. And so then when Lord Jagannath comes out, he gets up on the chariot, and they take him down to Gundicha temple for holiday. And this holiday away from his wife, the goddess of fortune, and of course she's very jealous. Where's he going off to? What's he doing? Of course Krishna's thinking he's going to Vrindavan. He's going to Vrindavan, going back to Vrindavan, where I really belong. So, Lord Chaitanya and all his devotees had massive cleaning ceremony. And if we read that, we should have been reading that yesterday, very important. And the conclusion is that if we want the Lord to appear in our heart, to sit in our heart, on the lotus of our heart, well, now we have, our lotus looks like a dandelion, some gross wild flower, no longer a lotus, it's become perverted, some horrible smelling flower. And if Krishna wants to come and sit in our hearts have to be spotlessly clean, super clean. So Lord Chaitanya demonstrated how to clean the heart by cleaning Gundicha temple. First of all, sweeping, and then water, even the ceilings, millions of water pots, everyone trying their best, and Lord Chaitanya cleaning the altar with his tears, crying, and washing the altar with his own cloth. So he demonstrated. And Lord Chaitanya would always have more dirt than anyone else. Lord Chaitanya said, everyone show me how much dirt you've collected. And Lord Chaitanya had collected more dirt than everyone put together. Such a good cleaner. If he knew, he could sense where the dirt was. He'd pile up the dirt. Half the time we clean, we think, there's some dirt, I'll leave it. This is our mentality. We don't want to root it out. We have dirty things in our heart. But we think, anyway, Hare Krishna movement's okay anyhow. I'm getting on okay. So I don't have to really seek it out. I'm getting my rice, dal and sabji, a place to live. So I'll just coast along. I don't have to really surrender fully. This is our tendency. But Lord Chaitanya showed, no. It can only be cleaned with heartfelt tears of complete and surrendering our sense gratification, everything to Krishna. So, then, on the next day, it's called, what's the next day called? When Jagannath comes out, what's it called? Who's reading Prabhupada's books? Who knows what it's called? When Jagannath comes out after 2 weeks of convalescence. Convalescence means getting well. And what's that ceremony called? The king's there. What was the name of the king of Jagannath Puri? Hands up. I want to see some hands up. I know you know, he's a school teacher. He's a brainy guy. Who knows the name of the king of Orissa? Who's that? Yeah? Maharaj Prataparudra. And he was also a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. He was always desiring to meet Lord Chaitanya. In fact, he was a closet Krishna. There's people out there, maybe the Prime Minister don't even know. He's a closet Krishna. Even the Queen of Denmark, I suspect she's a closet Krishna. That means she doesn't want anyone to know. But secretly she's a Hare Krishna. You know that? So next year, you should invite her to sleep before the cart. Why not? Someone should make a nice parchment, dear Queen of Denmark, gold leaf. We, the devotees of Copenhagen, in brackets, so many million people, we are praying at your lotus feet. Now, Queen of Denmark, we want you to please take part in our important ceremony going back for 10,000 million years, 10,000 years, and 5,000 years, whatever it is. Won't you please attend and, beg her every year to come. If she, at the same time, Sam, we're not, write to her very early. So if she refuses, then you try the Prime Minister. And then, if the Prime Minister refuses, then you go down the line till you get, the
street sweeper.
The street sweeper. How did you guess? So anyway, any government servant is a representative of the government. So the street sweeper also a government servant. So anyhow, the king was Maharaj Pratapuruta was always trying to please Lord Chaitanya. So he allowed Lord Chaitanya and his group to watch this Pandukajai ceremony. Well, I'm just giving a brief, instead of going through every word. They have these cushions, talis, like cushions full of cotton. And have you ever seen this picture of them lifting Jagannath? It's so big. I mean, the deal is like this big, solid wood, must weigh like maybe, a ton. And it takes like 12 guys. Like this, and they go. And then the deity goes onto these cotton cushions, and they burst. Like this. In this way, they're carrying up a big ramp. They're carrying the deities up a big ramp. Sisi Gonita King. And eventually they get onto their carts. Sisi Gonita King. And Lord Chaitanya was watching all this going on. He's in ecstasy. Because what is Lord Chaitanya seeing when he sees Lord Jagannath? Anybody know? He's seeing a block of wood, painted wood. What does he see? What is Lord Chaitanya seeing?
Krishna.
He sees the Lord of his heart. He sees Krishna. Shama Sundar. Because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in the form of, in the mood of, who? Radharani, yes. This is Krishna. We have Krishna on the altar here, but in a special form of devotee. Sometimes Krishna wants to know what it's like to be in the position of Radharani, feeling such ecstatic love. I didn't know anyone could experience such ecstatic love. I want to experience such love. I want to experience what it's like to be me, from outside. I want to know what others see in me. This was Lord Chaitanya's internal reason for coming. But at the same time, he thought, now is the time, Kali Yuga. We have to spread the Sankirtan Yajna, the method that people can go back to Godhead easy. Because people are so hopeless in this age. They're all drunkards and woman hunters and meat eaters and everything, gamblers. It's just a hopeless case. There's no question of, meditation or temple worship or doing big formal sacrifices. It's all hopeless in this age. People don't want formal, they just want formal football matches. They'll meditate on anything but Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya is thinking, now I must introduce, now is the time. I will also come and I will do the work of a Yuga avatar. Lord Chaitanya is not actually a Yuga avatar, but he incorporates that in his personal appearance as Krishna in his golden form. Radha Baba Juti Suvalitam Nomi. Krishna Swarupam comes with the duty, with the effulgence of Radharani. So when he sees Lord Jagannath, this is part of his Leela. And now we realize that Lord Chaitanya's Leela with Jagannath has been extended by Prabhupada for the benefit of the whole world. It's very significant that Prabhupada has done this. And who would have thought of it? Do you know that some of the pandas, it's not very nice to hear, but it should be known that like 2 or 3 years ago, some of the anti-parties in Jagannath Puri, anti-ISKCON parties from India, they burned effigy of Prabhupada. Yeah. Burnt a deity of Prabhupada. Why? Because he had introduced Jagannath Rath all over the world, and we were holding on different days. You're actually supposed to hold Jagannath Rath Yatra only on the proper day, the Tithi. Tithi means the astrological configuration of stars and so on. Which is, this year is 10th of July, 10th of this month. So you are having a little early. Today is what? The 6th. 4 days early. You go to hell. You'll be finished. So they burned an effigy of Prabhupada. And the big disturbance, the GBC had to deal with it. And they made protests to King of Orissa, Prime Minister, blah, blah, blah. And eventually they apologized. But ISKCON also said, wherever possible, we will try and hold this festival on the proper day. But in different countries it's not the same. We have to get permission. It's not like Puri. The whole Jagannath Puri is built around the Rath Yatra festival. There's a huge, motorway, like 2-3 times motorway, kilometre across the road. You can take the millions of people down with the Rath Yatra cart. They don't take the Rath Yatra like in London. We take first of all Balaram's cart, then Subhadра's cart, then Jagannath cart, all in a line. Jagannath Puri is not like that. They're aside one another. Can you imagine? Huge carts. Those carts are gigantic. One cart is to fill up this whole room. From there to there. Big cart. And 3 of those aside, 3 aside, so it's a big road, big strand, going down to Gundicha temple. One time we were on travelling Sankirtan, during Prabhupada's time actually. And we were doing BBT library party in South India. And we thought, well, let's go to the Rath Yatra festival. It's far out, it's a good idea. So we parked the van and we stayed in Puri for the Rath Yatra. And before Jagannath gets into Gundicha Marjan, he always stays the night outside. That's the chance. If anyone's going to get darshan of Jagannath, that's your chance. So we waited 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and Jagannath sitting on the Rath Yatra cart. Most people are asleep. You take the Harinam Chadar, so no one sees you're a white man, and then you climb up on the car. And they don't seem to mind. It's like no one around anyway. And Prabhu Vishnu was with me at that time. Big garland fell on Prabhu Vishnu. Amazing. And we touched Jagannath Balaji, touched Bala's Lotus feet. That's the chance. It's a secret. Okay? Don't tell anyone. You have to censor that. No more, don't show that on the camera. I should be in trouble, honestly. This will be flashed all over. Maharaj has said that everyone's in ISKCON's going to be hanging around that evening, and the Pandavas are going to be there with their stun guns. Machine guns. Stop, the Harrys are coming! So keep it secret. I think you should stop it in the film, okay?
I will beep it out. You will just sit and...
It's cool. So anyhow, where were we? In Lord Chaitanya. So Prabhupada introduced now this festival all over the world. But we should always remember the real day is 10th of July. It's an ancient festival. We can't always hold it on 10th of July because of local authorities. Just like in Aarhus, our Scandinavian tour, we generally do Aarhus before Copenhagen, which was on yesterday, Friday. But we made application, but they wouldn't. They said, so we've already booked for some other group or some other thing. You can't do Rath Yatra yesterday. So we had to cancel Aarhus. Because the Scandinavian tour, see, we're using the Jagannath deities, which Parashuram. We do many Rath Yatra festivals in England, about 10, 12 others. And we also come to Scandinavian tour, I've been in the last few years. And he has wonderful deities. So those deities are coming with Parashuram. He's going to take them to the start of the festival, and we also use his cart. He has a special cart, transportable cart, on a trailer. And so, where were we now? What was my train of thought?
That we were cancelled from home?
Yeah, we cancelled from home. Yeah, so we can't have Rath Yatra on every day that we want. In America, they also have Festival of India. They go from city to city, town to town. A lot of the Guru Kulis join them, ex-Guru Kulis. It's a gathering, it's a great fun gathering. They travel in buses and go to different towns and put on the Rath Yatra festival. So Prabhupada, he had the stature, he had the authority to do this. Because we can see Prabhupada's stature is, we can't conceive of it. I was just talking with Dharmatma. We have to have our mobile phone, our email. We can hardly do anything without it. I lost my mobile phone. I was like, it's like a chicken without a head. You don't know what to do anymore. A man without his wife without a husband. Feel lost. But Prabhupada spread this movement on snail mail and also, what was it, telex or telegrams. Prabhupada would use telegrams and telegrams to spread a worldwide movement all over the planet. Every day he would read his mail, he would answer his mail by dictation to his secretaries. He was a brilliant manager. Actually, a genius manager. What he did. Established ISKCON, established PBT, write so many books, established so many temples, managed all these young people who were completely crazy, turned the hippies into happies. Maharaj told me, he said, my hippie days are over. So, Prabhupada, yes, our hippie days are over, now we're happies. Prabhupada made us into happies. Dancing and singing. And so what did Prabhupada do? He did an amazing thing. Established Rath Yatra, established Bhaktivedanta Institute, scientific preaching, did so many things. Deity worship. So, this is a very important day. Running out of time. 8:45. Actually, we should be finishing now, but we can just read one verse and purport and have questions. Okay? And Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Vita Chandra Jai Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Vita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Vita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Vita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Hands up. Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Vita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Vita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Swami Jai Jagannath
Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Swami Jaya Jagannath
Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra
Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
This was the time when sometimes Lord Chaitanya would go in front of the car, sometimes he would go behind. Feeling separation from Krishna, he would go behind, and then Krishna would feel separation from him, and the car would stop. Then Lord Chaitanya would go in front, and the car would move forward. So this is the text from that part. Lord's dancing in Rath Yatra, Madhya Lila 13. E macho gora siame, donne tela teli, svarate siame raki gora mahabali. Thus there was a sort of competition between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath in seeing who would lead the procession. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strong that he made Lord Jagannath wait in his car. Lord Chaitanya used to go behind him. Jagannath wouldn't move. Purport. In his Anubhasya, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur describes the ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as follows. After giving up the company of the gopis in Vrindavan, Sri Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, engaged in his pastimes at Dwarka. Try, give him a laddu. Give him the Jagannath tongue. When Krishna went to Kurukshetra with his brother and sisters and others from Dwarka, I'll repeat that again. When Krishna went to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister, who was Krishna's brother and sister? Huh? I forgot.
Balaram Subhadra.
Balaram Subhadra. Good. You're coming on. He's the only person who's awake. He's a school teacher. He knows how to hear. When Krishna went to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister and others from Dwarka, he again met the inhabitants of
Vrindavan.
who?
Vrindavan.
Where?
Vrindavan.
Pardon, my ears are bad today.
Vrindavan.
One more time, please.
Vrindavan.
Okay. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Bhava Jyoti Subalita. That is, he's Krishna himself assuming the part of
His own devotee.
Yes, but different words.
Sannyasi.
We need the, how do you say, nominative, the name of that person. Srimati Radharani. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Bhava Jyoti Suvalita. That is Krishna himself assuming the part of Srimati Radharani in order to understand Krishna. Lord Jagannath Dev is Krishna, And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is
Radharani.
Srimati Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is leading Lord Jagannath towards the Gundicha temple correspond to Srimati Radharani's leading Krishna towards Vrindavan. Srimati Radharani is thinking, only I don't like Krishna as a big king with all his wives and chariots. I want him, my boyfriend, my sweetheart, in Vrindavan again. Okay. So, correspond to Srimati Radharani's leading Krishna towards Vrindavan. Sri Kshetra Jagannath Puri was taken as the kingdom of Dwarka, the place where Krishna enjoys supreme opulence. But he was being led by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan, the simple village where all the inhabitants are filled with ecstatic love for
Krishna.
Krishna, yes. Sri Kshetra means Jagannath Puri. Sri Kshetra is a place of something lila. It's a technical term. It means opulence. Aishwarya lila. Opulence. Just as Vrindavan is a place of sweetness, Madhurya lila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is following at the rear of the Ratha, behind the Rath Yatrika, indicate that Lord Jagannath Krishna was forgetting the inhabitants of Vrindavan, which he was, apparently. Although Krishna neglected the inhabitants of Vrindavan, he could not forget them. Thus, in his opulent Rath Yatra, he was returning to Vrindavan. In the role of Srimati Radharani, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was examining whether the Lord still remembered the inhabitants of Vrindavan. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went behind the Rath cart, Jagannath Dev, Krishna himself, understood the mind of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, Jagannath sometimes fell behind the dancing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to indicate to Srimati Radharani that he had not forgotten. Lord Jagannath, he let Lord Chaitanya dance in front, and he stopped, and he also watched the dancing. Jagannath was amazed. His eyes got bigger and bigger. Therefore, thus Lord Jagannath would stop the forward march of the Rath and wait at a standstill. In this way, Lord Jagannath agreed that without the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, he could not feel satisfied. While Jagannath was thus waiting, Gaurasundara Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, immediately came forward to Krishna. At such times, Lord Jagannath would proceed ahead very slowly. These competitive exchanges were all part of the love affair between Krishna and Srimati Radharani. I lost the page now. In that competition between Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy for Jagannath and Jagannath's ecstasy for Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emerged successful. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So, we have time for any questions or not?
Wasn't it, is it about this dosing in the class? Didn't Prabhupada sanction that Jayananda could dose in the class?
Jayananda?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Did he?